Hello, union family. I wanted to talk to you today about a strike and what happens when you go on strike and just some of the logistics to it and some of the aspects of things you have to consider. So to do that, I'm going to use these props right here. We have the company, represented by the Green Goblin. We have us, represented by Captain America. And we have pressure, represented by the Infinity Gauntlet. Thank you, Isaac, for letting me play with your Marvel's Monopoly set. We've got money in, we've got money out, we've got pressure. So we all know that the company makes lots and lots of money. We've seen the reports. We make money right here. The company has the expense of paying us, which goes over here. Now, as you approach a contract expiration, automatically there creates some pressure from the company's side, because the last thing that a company wants is uncertainty in their future. And as you approach the expiration of a contract, that fear can lead to pressure. So this is where we sit right as the contract expires. Now let's talk about people that talk about as soon as the contract expires, we should go on strike. So what happens when we go on strike? The first thing that happens is the company no longer pays us. That goes away. The second thing that happens is they no longer have the expense of paying us, which means that money that had allocated there now comes over to this side. Now, as we don't have that contract, the pressure goes up as we start to do things that impact the company not getting money. So they start to lose money as they start to lose customers, they start to get hits on things, they start to look bad in the PR on the public side of things, and that money starts to go away. While that's happening, we are, of course, losing money. And the story becomes, how long can we stay out on strike to affect them financially to where the pressure gets to the point where they actually have to give us what we want, a fair contract. And there's a set breaking point for the company. With all of us, though, it can be different. Everyone has different levels of finances that are associated with them. There's also the fact that there's contractors that are involved now as well. So it's not like we go on strike and immediately all the customers that were customers go away. They're still there. There's still money that's coming in. It's going to take a while. There's going to have to be a progression to that buildup as things start to fail, as in the public eye sentiments change. And those are all variables that we really can't account for. So that would happen if we immediately went on strike. And in theory, as long as you can hold out long enough and they're not able to replace you with contractors that do the work that you do, you could win. All right? Is this the best way to do it, though? In my opinion, no. So let's take a look at another route to approach this, which is what we have done, where we are working without a contract. So again, company makes lots of money. Company pays us money. There's pressure associated with not having a contract, and there's money that comes out to us that the company has to pay. Now, while we're working without a contract, we are not sitting idly by. We have shown our solidarity. We've started to mobilize and come together. That creates additional pressure on the company's side, because when they see that we're all together, they know that we could in fact go on strike, that we're willing to do what it takes. And because of this, they get fearful. It creates pressure. We've also done informational pickets out there to get the word out. Awareness creates pressure. The company just got a huge corporate tax cut and they don't want to look bad in the public eye, so that creates pressure with awareness. We've also done things politically to motivate our politicians to let them know what is happening. That creates pressure right there. That affects the company. How does the company respond to this? For one, they start losing money because of what we're doing over here. For two, they start having to spend more money to compensate for what's happening over here. So this is kind of where we sit right now. Is this good enough, though? Clearly not, because they have not caved. We're not sitting on a contract right now. We have not gotten everything that we want. So what can we do to increase this? We need to add more pressure over here. So what else can we do? We can create more awareness. Let's be real. Does your neighbor know that you're working without a contract right now? Does your softball team know that you're working without a contract right now? Does your church group know that you're working with a contract right now? We need to get out and spread the word relating to this, and we need to educate people out there in the real world as to what's happening. That the corporate tax cuts that we paid for have not led to financial security when it comes to the work. And that's what they were there to do. We need to generate more awareness with this. We also need to engage our politicians more. Those calls that have been going out there, they are important. We need to do more of that, because as we increase pressure on the politicians, the way that the company engages that is they have to pay them more to get them to continue to support them. So that's what the corporations have. They don't have the numbers on their side, they've got the money on their side. As we also create more awareness, it hurts the brand. One of the things the company is most worried about is their brand. They have to spend more money now to compensate for what's happening over there with the brand. Now I know what you're gonna say. I've already made those calls. I've already talked to my congressman, and I get that. But if you look at a movie like The Shawshank Redemption, right? When Andy's writing his letters out to the library, trying to get his library built to the government, they eventually cave, and they send him a letter with a check, and they send him a bunch of books, and they say, okay, we've given you what you want now, please stop writing us letters. And his response is, well, now I guess I need to start writing 2 letters a week. So that's what we need to do. We need to continue to engage those politicians every single week. We need to engage and create more pressure on this side. There's also other things that we need to ramp up and start doing. We need to start doing some informational pickets out there. That's going to create more awareness, and that's going to lead to more money being lost over here. Look, we don't even have a place to put it at this point because there's more and more over here. There's things we can do with petitions, signups, engagement, going door to door, talking to people. All of these things are going to continue to put pressure on the company over here. It's going to continue to cost them more and more money over here, which means they're going to continue to lose more and more money over here. So if we do get to the point where we have to go out on strike and this goes away and we start losing money, they gain a little bit of money, but we have all this additional pressure that has already been put on them right here. This all stays as long as we continue to mobilize. Our power comes in our mobilization. It comes in awareness. It comes through the pressure that we create by spreading the truth, which is the company has made billions of dollars by our work, and we deserve a fair contract. Those jobs should not be offshore. They should not be outsourced. Those things should stop. All we want is a fair contract, and there's plenty of contract language out there that talks to the contractors going before your core employee union members go. So that's what we're looking for. Thank you very much for taking the time to walk this through with me. I appreciate it. Everyone have a good weekend.